Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Northwest Trenches podcast, where we talk about what those two little rascals on Northwest Trenches are talking about, and we make fun of them for being evil Donald Trump Nazis.
Yeah, we very much dislike the fact that one of the guys had a caffeine infused rant about tech support last week or some
Yeah.
kind of thing like that.
And we also don't like when the red-headed one says anything. 'Cause everything he says is racist and evil, and he's a Nazi.
Without face cams, the audience would not know who is who in this occasion.
Well, you see, those Northwest Trenches guys, they actually have the nerve to film themselves on their own show, and they film themselves being racist, anti-Semitic,
Dude.
Nazi sympathizers constantly.
Yeah, and they're siding with a bunch of alt-right YouTube personalities in every conversation.
Yeah, did you know that those guys watched Sam Hyde?
Yeah, they
Might as
fucking
well be
hate
killing a million
iDubbbz now.
Palestinians.
They hate iDubbbz now and got all critical when he went back to Creator Clash. What a mistake.
Can you believe how those two talked about how iDubbbz has allegedly messed up his career? I mean, come on.
Oh,
I think that was my best intro yet.
honestly, whenever we have no face cams on, I want to do the Northwest Trenches podcast,
Yeah.
where we just criticize the face cam pod
Yeah.
every time.
No, actually, yeah, we could do that. That's pretty funny.
It could be an
If we
ongoing
remember it
bit
next
for
time, that
like
would be
20
great.
minutes. Oh.
That could be our biggest and longest running bit.
We need to start a counter on the Northwest Trenches podcast, similar to Cinema Sins, where we
Yeah.
go back through like certain pods and go, that's offensive. Ding. I did the ding sound effect. I don't know if it picked up.
Yeah. Could you hear a YouTube video in the background of my audio at all?
No, you're fine.
Okay, great. Because for the viewers at home, I'm a little out of it right now. I went to the bar after work with a buddy or two, and yeah, we're a little cooked right now.
I mean, it is
But,
TGIF Friday.
Yeah, dude. TGIF Friday, bro.
You have to say Friday after it for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it isn't the same phrase. One means the restaurant, the other means actually doing it. TGIF Friday is actually doing it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like Buffalo Wild Wings, where if you just get the Wild Wings, you're not in Buffalo?
Yeah, it's like Bed Bath and Beyond wings, where you get soap sauce on your fucking chicken wings, your boneless wings.
It's like Bath and Body Works wings, but you
Yeah.
can't have any of the Bath Works.
Yeah. Bed Bath and Buffalo Wild Wings. That's what we're all about here.
Isn't that the fucking store that Christopher Walken manages in Click, the movie from 2009?
I'll be honest, I don't know, and that's mainly because I can't differentiate Bath and Body Works from Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath
They're the-
and Beyond is from that movie, or at least it's in that movie. And Christopher Walken goes, "Wow, just so you know, the Beyond is in the back of the store."
The Beyond is in the back of the store.
Yeah, I did more of an Arnold impression.
Yeah.
But then
Imagine Arnold in that scene, and he's like in his Predator movie garb.
he has
He has
the
M60.
there was a weird movie he was in where he was pregnant.
feel like I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what the movie
I don't know
is.
what the name is, but he is pregnant and he has like feminine hormones kick in when he's trying to be protective about the baby. And it's like the strangest thing.
Yeah, that all rings a bell to me. Everything you've said rings a bell to me, which is crazy. I feel like that's like a Mandela effect movie or something like that.
It-
Like that's
It's
something everybody remembers, but it isn't real.
well, it is real. I just said Israel, if you
Israel.
think about it.
Yeah, Israel. Woo, yeah, we love Israel on this show. Definitely.
Honestly, that would be the proper statement. I believe. I might be wrong. I'm not making
the
a political statement here.
Like do you mean when it comes to the proper statement, do you mean the pro-narrative statement?
Most likely the pro-narrative.
Yeah, that is the pro-narrative statement. But the narrative is wrong.
Yeah. It's a thing where, since we're two white men who are obviously, well, in some case obviously, especially if we have face cams on, not Jewish, I don't know if we can put a stance on any of that. You know?
I mean, we can put a stance on anything. We're free people, dude.
True.
Think about that. You can do anything right now. You can do whatever you want right now. There might be some costs to doing it, but realistically, you can do anything you want right now.
You know what I want to do?
Realistically, right now, I could realistically get this.
Yeah.
I could book a flight on my phone right now, drive to the airport, go on said flight to, say, South Carolina or something.
That's a good one.
From there, let's say I want to go to some random town. All right, I can do that. I can. That's totally legally. I can do that. It's within my free will. Like this is what I'm talking about, man. You can do whatever the fuck you want at any point in time. There are just costs to doing so, and if you're willing to endure those costs, you can do whatever the fuck you want at any time.
I would love to, first afford it, right?
Yeah.
I would just fly to Cleveland and then drive over to where you guys are.
Yeah, you could do that.
I have to save enough to make that flight work, and then I should be good.
That would actually be pretty sick if you did that.
I might have to do a Pat McAfee and fucking travel almost every other day after doing the pod.
Yeah.
If I get the McAfee schedule, I gotta get paid like McAfee, though.
Yeah. It would be cool to take you shooting sometime. I think I'd like to shoot some guns with you. I can bring out the AK, and I'd bring out the M1 Garand for you, and I'd bring out the cool guns.
You know the video, the kid that he tries to climb a soccer net and it tips over and he lands on his arm and it breaks?
No, that video sounds sick as fuck, though.
Well, he breaks his arm and he's like, guys, we gotta go. And he starts running away and his hand's like T-Rex posing. That would be me after shooting a gun. I would break my arm in half so quick.
Guns so good. You shoot guns amazing, let's hear. I feel like you're built to shoot guns. I feel like you'd be like surprisingly good at it.
I feel like I'd be better as like a medical officer, but I would have to talk to Zach about it. Yeah, I would have to talk to Zach about it for like an hour to like 78 days to understand all the complications of that.
Yeah, if you were in World War II, would you sign up to be the combat medic?
Yeah, I would be the medic, but eventually I'll start like tweaking out and I'll start using the morphine on myself.
Yeah, that seems pretty in line. I think if I was in World War II, I'd want to be the guy with the BAR. I'd want to be the guy that like mows down Japanese people and Germans or something or whatever. According
to the classic video game Battlefield 1, medic rifles are really frickin' good.
Yeah. Well, so's the BAR. You remember when
Yeah,
they dropped the BAR into
yeah,
Battlefield 1?
such a
That's a
good
good gun
gun.
right there.
Oh man. I just read something about Red Note, that TikTok replacement, in the bottom of my computer screen here. I have no
Oh
clue what
yeah.
it says.
Yeah, Red Note is that's like even more Chinese, even more communist TikTok.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's the red and
But
yellow flag, but all red.
yeah.
Alright, now I gotta search up Red Note in the background real quick and get my phone corrupted. Uh, it fades as TikTok doubles downloads on return to iPhones.
Red Note was never going to succeed. I don't know what these Chinese government officials are thinking.
I think it was more of a ploy because in China, TikTok is like the most popular social app, right?
Yeah.
And everybody else is trying to copy them. It's the same thing over here with like Instagram Reels or the Facebook Watch thing, I think is the right label.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing where they're just trying to get as much support and people on their shorts and stuff like that. It doesn't mean it's good for the economy or anybody involved, but it does make money.
Yeah. I mean, if I thought that short form content would take off so fast, I would, and I was working at Instagram or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, Instagram CEO, we need to do this now, and I'd be there before TikTok.
Hmm.
I'd make a shit ton of money.
Yeah. And this is all prototype from Vine, back when Vine was around. We always mention Vine on this show.
Yeah, because it was awesome. Vine was cool.
You
Vine
see,
is Vine is based.
Vine is based. If you ever watched It's a Watermelon Inside of a Watermelon, you would understand.
Yeah, or like if you watched King Bach at his height, or King Batch, or whatever the fuck you call him.
Yeah, King Beck.
Yeah, King Bach. So, yeah, I don't know. I do have a funny story from work.
Yeah.
This, I thought it was pretty funny. I don't know. Anybody I've told this doesn't laugh, really, but I just this is and will always be funny to me. So
Mm-hmm.
anyhow, we're at a house, and this house has a basketball court
Ooh.
in the basement.
Is it LeBron?
It is not LeBron. It's some white guy. Didn't see the guy. He wasn't there. The only people that were there were me, my coworker, and two Amish carpenters. All right.
Hell yeah.
Amish people are retarded. I'm just going to preface the whole story as we get into it with saying that. So, we're down scoping out for this guy has a radon spike, like a high radon number in his basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
So he had some flue piping installed to pipe out the radon into the atmosphere. And well, first of all, the radon piping had a bunch of water in it. You could hear it through the pipe. It's not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to have water in the radon piping, as far as I know. Right? So whatever, it's not my problem. That's the mitigators' problem. That's what they call radon guys, mitigators.
Yeah.
And so we're scoping stuff out in the basketball court. We go back up the stairs, and we're like scoping out some other stuff for like a electrical. Like we need a like an electrical box, like that you plug shit in with. Like we need outlets. That's what I'm looking for. And so we find some wire. We're like, all right, cool. Kind of go back down to the basketball court. We're scoping shit out. And this entire time, these Amish guys, these carpenters, they're working above us. We hear them. They're like loud as fuck. They're annoying. were kind of getting annoyed hearing their existence in general. And so we're down there, and I end up looking over, and I see some fucking water dripping
Ooh.
from the ceiling of the basketball court, which would mean the floor of the room above. And I tell my coworker, I look at him, I'm like, hey, something's dripping there. And we both walk over to it. There's a wet spot on the floor. He holds his hand out. It drips into his hand. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't like that when we showed up. I know for a fact. And he's like, yeah, I think you're right. I think those guys up there hit a water line.
Ooh.
And they were drilling. So we go up there. We tell them what's going on with the leak. So they were drilling a panel in. And they drill it out, and the very last nail, the Amish guy, he starts drilling it out, and some water starts shooting out, so he drills it back in. So clearly they hit a water line. They drove a screw through a water line. They fucked the dog hard.
Ooh.
And both of them looked beyond pissed that they did that, because they not only have to redo that, but they're going to get an ass chewing of a lifetime from their boss.
Yeah.
So, my coworker goes, shuts off the main water line, comes back in, is like, yeah, the main water line's shut off. And so that Amish guy's like, oh, fucking awesome, in his head. Amish people don't cuss or say the word awesome.
Yeah. They're just like, that is very spectacular.
Not even that, they're like, oh, that's very good. Or, oh, that's very great. That's very great that happened to you. Like, they almost sound like Canadians, Amish people do, at least in Ohio. But so that Amish guy, he's like, all right, in his head, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna drill this fucking screw out. And he drills it out, and this line that they drilled into is under pressure, a lot of pressure. So this water shoots out to the fucking ceiling, dude. It shot out to the fucking ceiling, and it started spraying all over the fucking place. And it got on me, it got on the guy I was working with, it got on the Amish guys, it got on all of us. And the guy finally put his thumb over it, and then he was like, oh man, that's a lot of pressure going against my thumb, that fucking hurts. And he took it off, and it starts spraying again, and he manned up and drilled that screw into it. And basically, we ended up just having pity on these poor Amish people. We bled off the line through a faucet in one of the bathtubs in the house. And we were just like, you know what? We'll be back in a half hour, and we'll just fucking fix it for you. We're not busy right now, and that was too funny to not, fucking fix this issue, and then you guys won't get chewed out, and we did a good thing. So that's what happened. We went back to the shop, got the parts, and repaired the water line for them, which only took like 10 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So that was the funniest thing that happened all week. That was definitely, well, maybe if it wasn't funny, it was definitely the craziest thing that happened on the job all week. But I'm gonna remember that story for a very long time.
I don't really have a good comparison, right? But I will talk about traffic over here real quick.
Yeah, Tennessee traffic sucks, man.
Yeah.
None of them motherfuckers know how to drive.
For real. I was just trying to drive to a local grocery store, right? And the guy in front of me goes from the right lane to the center lane where you can turn off. He doesn't even look over. He just zooms over, and that's it. And I was just like, come on. Just be normal, please. And another thing was getting stopped at a green light because of how many fucking people are on the road. it's the first time I've had that happen to me, and that was today. And it pissed me off. It pissed me off so much. And I was just like, why do people do this? Why? And I remember a guy from there used to be a show called Fuckface, a podcast show.
Yeah.
One of those guys, he went, "Oh, I love Austin, Texas. We're stopped at a green. Oh, it's so awesome." And he said this literally like 2 days ago when I was watching that video. And I was just like, how the hell did this happen over here now? Because he's in Texas getting this traffic, and now I'm getting this traffic. It's really strange how that works, you know?
Yeah.
And, man, I don't really have much else. I did not see Captain America 4 this past week when I said I would.
Damn, are you a communist?
I guess, man, I guess. So disappointing of myself.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't have done a podcast. I didn't realize you were fucking red this whole time.
Just as red as Red Note, man. It all works out.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, you're promoting Red Note.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good bit. I'll let it slide for now. I don't know. We were driving around in the van today, me and a different coworker from the Amish guy story.
Yeah.
And we go back to this house to set a higher temperature for this boiler that was installed literally yesterday, which would be Thursday, as of this recording. And so me and my other coworker had scoped it out on Tuesday or Wednesday. And we had to go up there again at a certain point. And so, I'm pretty familiar with, this boiler in this house. I'm familiar with the property at this point.
Yeah.
And the guy I was with today, he's like, yeah, we got to go to that house, check on that boiler and up the temperature on it. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And so the way that my other coworker and I went up was like, kind of fucking cooked. It was like this weird angled driveway. You had to like steer into it, and the incline was super steep, and if there was ice on it, you're kind of fucked because it's a big ass work van. And so today we went around this other way. Apparently the driveway loops around to another street, and this was new information to me. And I commented to my coworker. I was like, "Hey man, I was like, I wasn't like, where were we going? But I was like, are you, like, where is this drive? Like, is this a driveway? Because it really didn't look like one. There's a bunch of snow on it." He was like, "Yeah, you can get to the house from here." And as he said that, we went through this bump that like fucking threw me out of my seat. It like bounced me up out of my fucking seat in the van. And I just started laughing my ass off, and I was like, holy shit. And he was like, "Oh yeah, did so-and-so know about that one?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "I bet that bump would make him flip out." And I was like, yeah, dude. I don't know, kind of a lame story, but it's one of those you just had to be there, I guess.
Yeah. That's kind of similar to about 2 years ago now. It's like a year and a half. I was working for that event company, right? I'll put it that way. And we had a late night all the way to like 10 at night. And we were just piecing together a bunch of lights and fixtures.
That's not a late night. 10 p.m. is not late.
Well, for this job it is. Usually I get out at like 6 at that time.
Oh, okay.
But we get done at 10. And we're driving in the dark, essentially, because it was out in the boonies. And the guy that is like just driving the van on passenger, he's just chatting away, and then he's like, "Oh shit, we need gas. We have like, let's say like 2% left in the fucking gas container or whatever it's called, gas tank." And he doesn't even look when he turns, and just abruptly turns and parks and gets gas. In the middle of the night, just dark as shit. Literally, if you thought, like, just think about like the Star Wars credits where it's all the stars floating around.
Yeah.
It's literally like that, kind of dark. And we get in there and he gets gas and we start moving. And then he goes, "Oh shit, I forgot to turn the headlights on." So we've been working with like barely any light because he didn't have the headlights on. So he turns them on, and the first thing we see is a deer in the middle of the road.
Ah, sick. I hate them motherfuckers. You should have shot it.
We were going like 60 on this road. So all of a sudden you hear scream as we slow down to a halt, and the deer runs off. And I just start chuckling to myself because it reminded me of a different thing. Where I was trying to get home from a college course at like midnight. And I was driving down the road that's literally pretty close to where I live. And there was a deer in the middle of the road while I'm trying to just relax on my way back home. And I explained that story to that guy. And he was like, "Well, at least there's not like more than one at a time, right?" He goes like half a mile, another one. Another deer in the middle of the road. And it kept being like that. At least like 4 more deers just in the middle of the road like that.
Jesus Christ, what were they doing? A ritual?
I fucking guess. It was a group sacrifice or something, I guess. And
A group sacrifice.
and then we drove back to the warehouse. And before I left, guess what I saw?
Bigfoot.
A gopher.
No shit.
A gopher? A gopher that was like 2 feet tall. And I was like, that's a weird looking gopher.
Are gophers and groundhogs the same thing?
In the middle. Like roughly the same.
Let me Google this. All right, let's see.
Thing is, like,
gophers and groundhogs the same? Perfect. No, gophers and groundhogs are not the same. Okay. Thank you, Google AI overview. Friend of the show, Google AI overview.
But,
tell me that gophers and groundhogs are not the same. See what they look like compared. Groundhogs look fat, gophers don't. All right. You saw a 2-foot tall gopher. Let's see how tall gophers get. Gopher height. I spelled height wrong, and there's a notification. I'm in hell right now. I'm in hell.
This is awesome.
You saw one that was 2 feet tall.
I swear.
Bro, they can range in height from 6 to 14 inches. What are you...
I swear it was 2 feet tall, man.
Did you get Bill Cosby'd, just not very effectively, so that you were hallucinating? You saw a 2-foot tall gopher.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
The 2 feet tall gopher Then
2 feet tall gopher.
it then ran into the woods, and I had to work the next day anyways.
On hind legs, all fours.
On hind legs only.
You saw a skinwalker, is what you saw. In old Tennessee, you saw a fucking skinwalker. You did not see a goddamn gopher. You saw a paranormal being. Is what you saw.
Oh, this just reminded me of a different story. Are you ready for this different story?
I don't know. Am I? I was
right.
not ready for the 2 foot tall gopher in the last one.
All right. So this one, we were celebrating my friend's 10-year birthday. Like he turned 10. And this is literally 15 years ago. Oh my God. But we were at his house and we were celebrating, having a good time. And we did hide and seek.
You were celebrating having a good time.
Yeah. And we were outside doing hide and seek. Remember, this is like, it's like a springtime in Ohio. So it's like 50 to 35 degrees half the time, right?
Yeah.
And I went out there without a jacket. And then I hid behind the stump of a tree that was pretty close to his house. And they did the hide and seek round and no one found me. Not a single soul found me. And I was like, holy shit, I'm goated with this sauce at hide and seek. This is crazy. And they never said, hey, we're all done, you won, or anything like that. So I just hid behind the tree for an extra like 40 minutes. At that point, I swear on jaw, I swear I saw a pair of eyes that were not human staring at me.
What did they look like?
I don't know if it was like a coyote. Probably not in that area, but it was definitely like some predatory animal was staring at me.
What did the eyes look like?
It was like almond shaped eyes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
And I think they were crimson, like crimson-y red. It was probably like a reflective eye, right?
Yeah.
And I went in the back of my head, well, I'm very small, so if I stay here and make a noise, he's probably just gonna run up to me and devour me, right?
Yeah.
So I very hastily run back inside. And I'm trying to explain it to his parents. Oh my gosh, there was something there. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I'm literally 10 years old. My voice is like 80 octaves higher.
Yo, I saw Satan in the backyard,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I swear to God, Satan was back there, guys.
His dad was there, and he went out and he looked out there, and there was nothing. Nothing was out there at all. And I was like, that makes no fucking sense. Was it me freaking out like a little bitch that scared it or something? Like I didn't understand that was probably why it left. So it's just like, bro, where is this fucking thing I saw? I swear I'm not tripping. Just like that kind of like emotion, you know?
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah. I have small stories that I get like weirdly descriptive about.
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah. I don't know. I had maybe I've told on the show, but there was one time where I lived in this old ass farmhouse that was built in like the 1800s, and like the Klan burned a cross on the front lawn because a black guy was in a relationship with a white woman, and they both lived there. And fucking one time I was in the like there was like a living room, then like if you're sitting on the couch, like to your right would be a bedroom, and then another like auxiliary room that you could do whatever with.
Yeah.
And that's where my Xbox was when I was like 12, 13. So like I I was like playing video games in there, and nobody else was home, and I heard this loud ass bang coming from upstairs, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And I remember just like sitting there like terrified for a while
Hmm.
because no one was home, and there's no reason a loud ass bang should be coming from upstairs. And I thought maybe the roof had collapsed in because there was a wasp's nest in the attic, and wasps would come down from the attic and shit. And I was terrified of wasps.
Hmm.
So I didn't know if like there's a giant ass wasp nest up there that careened through the floor. That was literally what I was thinking as a kid. What happened? But eventually, I worked up the courage to like walk up there and see, and nothing was out of place. Like literally nothing. There was nothing. There was just a loud ass bang, and nothing was out of place up there. And like I checked my sister's room and I checked my room, and nothing was out of place. Nothing was fucked up. Nothing was damaged. And I just kind of went back downstairs and kept playing Call of Duty.
Mhm.
But in the days following that, I started thinking about that, and I was like, so when that house was first built, it was a settler's house in the early 1800s. There were still Indians in the area, and they would attack the house, and it is almost definitely confirmed that the people living there had to murder a bunch of Indians essentially just to get by.
Hmm.
So part of me thinks that, and there are these windows upstairs too, before I get too ahead of myself, that were like pillbox holes, and they had old ass like stained glass into them,
Ooh.
but it wasn't like the colored stained glass. It's like back in the day, they like everything was, or well, stained glass implies it was stained. What's the word I'm looking for? It was like, I don't know, the glass, you could not see out of it clearly. It's not like windows today.
Yeah.
So my assumption is that if ghosts were real, there might have been a ghost up there with a musket killing a ghost Indian. That's my awesome conclusion
Hell
to that
yeah.
crazy story where nothing actually happened. I just heard a loud ass noise. But yeah, no, I think that house is if there's ghosts, it's probably haunted, or there's probably some demon shit there because of the clan burned a cross, and if you burn a cross, that's technically satanic.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know, something was off about that place. I just, not saying it was ghosts. I'm just saying that place was kind of cooked. And weird shit happened there.
Oh. All right. I don't know if I want to continue doing stories here.
What other topics do you have?
Not
Have we
much.
talked about the U.S. hockey game
We have
where
not.
they beat the shit out? Dude, 3 fights in 9 seconds.
Yeah. 9
That's
seconds
fucking
of game
awesome.
time. Yeah.
I didn't even watch the whole game. I just watched the highlights. When we laid that Canadian bastard out for booing our anthem, where he just like fucking ragdolled, that was so fucking cool.
It
And
really
apparently
was.
we're supposed to be playing them again this weekend. And I might actually watch that. That might be the first live sport I watch in a long time.
Yeah, I was watching the clip you sent, and I was surprised because I remember one incident in hockey from like 2012 or something like that,
Yeah.
where this guy was a goalie and he was trying to block a shot,
The guy that got his jugular cut.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember that right as I started watching that clip, I was like, oh, well, hopefully no one gets kicked in the chest or something.
Yeah, it's and I was watching the clips from that and I was like, man, it's crazy how good at fighting these guys are on fucking ice skates. Like these guys are really good at beating the shit out of each other when they can barely maintain balance. Like that's a skill in and of itself.
Back in the day, they used to have a fight like once a year, I think. And they were just like, I don't know. I think it just became kind of like how football is, where it's more pedestrian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, more normies watching.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah, I
upsetting.
don't know. I enjoy watching UFC and boxing and stuff. I don't go out of my way to watch it, but if I'm gonna watch a sport, it's gonna be a combat sport. And I wish that there were more fist fights in the NFL because that would definitely make me watch football more if I saw giant ass jack dudes beating the shit out of each other. You know,
Yeah.
like the fights are half the draw to hockey, but I feel like there aren't as many. Like every hockey match is not having 3 fights in 9 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about the U.S. versus Canada match that I didn't realize about like fighting in hockey, the referees stand by and let it happen
Yeah.
until somebody starts fighting dirty, which is the funniest thing to me. I was watching U.S. versus Canada. I was watching those fights, and the referees would just get around them, and they'd just be like, "All right, let them fight. Just let them beat the shit out of each other. If they start gouging each other's eyes out, I guess we'll separate them." And once it got nasty, they separated them, which is the funniest thing in the world. Like, think about in the NBA, those like Kyrie Irving fighting LeBron would be separated immediately. But in hockey, the refs are just like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, that's so awesome.
Like, that's so funny.
They should do that with literally everything. They should see a like big old brawl in baseball, and the umpire should just like brush his hands off from all the dirt on his hands, and then go, "Oh, okay, guys, stop, stop fighting."
Right. Meanwhile, they're hitting each other in the head with Louisville Sluggers.
It really do be like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember watching those highlights the day like after it happened, the same day that the match was, and just being like, dude, fuck yeah, we are so back as a country. We just fucking they booed our national anthem and we beat the shit out of them and we won. Like that is so badass. Like that was one of those rare moments where I was like, yeah, being American fucking rules right now.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, I got a new topic. It took forever in my brain, but we're coming up pretty close, like 4 months. four, pretty close, but 4 months from the E3 replacement Summer Games Fest. Do you think Bethesda will announce a new Fallout at Summer Games Fest?
Excuse me.
Solid
Fuck.
answer there.
Yeah, that's what I think. I just think I can't do it again. Fuck. I hate my life, man. No, I don't know. I don't think they'll announce another Fallout. They might be like, I don't know, Todd Howard might come out there and be like, "Hey, do you guys like Fallout? Well, keep in story. We might have something cool for you." And the cool thing in question will come out like 3 years later.
Yeah, he might be like, guys, you will be so surprised by our release of Dishonored 3 in 2028 or something like that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I don't know. When it comes to Bethesda right now, I don't know. Like I say it on the show all the time, but I don't really play a lot of video games. I'm not excited for a lot of video games that come out. I am excited for Elder Scrolls 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% excited for that, and I will do whatever I can to make it so I can play that game very good. So that's kind of where I'm at with Bethesda. I don't know. Starfield didn't really cater to me, and I found out that they did a bunch of DEI bullshit with it, and it kind of sucked. And like, I don't know. There's like, and I like,
Yeah.
anybody listening to this that's like left leaning that thinks Starfield was good, maybe it was. Why aren't you replaying it now? Exactly, because it fucking sucks, and the reason it sucks is DEI shit. So, yeah, that's kind of my whole thing. I feel like Bethesda was banking a lot on Starfield, and it kind of failed. So I'm just hoping for fucking Elder Scrolls 6, and I'm hoping it's good. And I want the new Battlefield to be good.
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Mhm.
hope at the new E3 that they talk more about the new Battlefield. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah. For Summer Games Fest, my one guess that I want, right? And it's just one thing. Where the hell is that new skate game at? Where is that shit? They announced it like 3 years ago. And then there's no follow-up like announcement for like a release date or anything. It would be the only skate game on the market, and they're not even talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Skate 3 is kind of fun to dick around on, but it's not a game that I'm like. Did they make a Skate 4?
No, that's what they announced, and then
all right.
there's no update.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about the Skate 4 stuff. Don't matter to me. Last video game I cared about was Black Ops 6, and even now I'm like kind of like over it.
Yeah.
I need to start playing video games again, so I'm not thinking about drinking all the time. That's like my main thing. Is like genuinely I need something that I can occupy my time with. I just struggle to get into video games like I used to. It's weird.
Oh, if you are one of like 2 people in the human existence listening to this who still add stuff to Starfield, can you put the fucking Mandalorian suit in finally? Like, it's been so long for people requesting that, and they never put it in.
Oh, yeah. If anybody's modding Starfield, you're watching this, like, can you make the all white people mod? Like, I need the everybody white people mod, like, immediately right now, dude. Like, I don't even.
What's
I
funny
can't stand
is to
fat
request it,
people.
but what's funny is to request it, and then there's like no response ever.
Yeah.
And I did find Mandalorian type armor, so I'm gonna download that. I am currently trying to set up Starfield with a bunch of creation club bullshit.
Actively right now as we're doing the show.
Exactly.
Wow. I'm sitting here doing
I'm
work.
filing
and
my
buddy
taxes over here too. Don't
wow,
worry about
man. Good
I'm
to
ahead
know.
of the curve.
I'm the only one that cares about this show. Isn't that something?
I don't know. Like, I think it just depends on how much energy I bring to it, how much I carry. You know.
I'm fucking kidding, man. You do we do as well as each other on this show. I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is funny though to be downloading and doing computer stuff while you're on a show. If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna watch YouTube.
Oh shit.
This is gonna be the Spite Each Other podcast. Yeah, let's see what we got here.
We could do an
Let's
episode.
look up
We could do
QAnon on YouTube.
We could do an episode where it's just us browsing a website, and I like screen share it with you. That'd be awesome.
That would actually be pretty funny.
We do like a watch along episode.
CQ and there we go. QAnon. All right, cool.
I'm gonna search up
See what we
Fortnite
get.
pickaxe and see if I can get the Fortnite pickaxe.
Oh, cool. They gave me a text wall when searching up QAnon. Nice. Not reading that.
Somehow me searching up Fortnite got Kylo Ren on Starfield.
Is Kylo Ren in Fortnite?
I think he is, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Ugh. Book of Boba Fett armor's in here too. I can be Boba Fett. I can be Boba
They called
Fiend.
him soft A N-word Fett. And he's like, hey man, I'm gonna throw your ass in the sore pit. Nah, saying.
Man, my ass got thrown in the Sarlacc pit. I ain't got nothing left to live for. Just like
That white
doom
boy,
or gloom.
that white boy Luke, he done throw my ass in the saw pit. Oh God.
For real, Princess Leia. For
That's
real,
on
for real.
everything, man.
I've been rewatching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and I've gotten to this point where Ahsoka Tano, Padawan of Anakin in the show,
Yeah.
she is taking care of other Padawans and putting them through trials.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm near the end of that arc, and it's really fucking good. Season 5, I think episode 4 is where I'm at, and it's really good. I still have 2 seasons, and then all of Rebels, and then I'm caught up. So,
Yeah. So Ahsoka, she has recruits. She's marching them down the Jedi squad bay, and she's like, "This is my lightsaber. This is my gun. This is for fighting. This is for fun."
it really is like that.
Imagine if in that show she gave them the gunnery Sergeant Hartman treatment, where he's like, "What's your name, scumbag?"
What's your
Sir-
name, scumbag?
Yeah, Sir Private Brown, sir. How tall are you, Private? Sir, 5'9", sir. Holy dog shit! I didn't know they stacked shit that high. Some shit like that. It'd be funny if they gave her a whole gunnery Sergeant Hartman scene addressing the Padawans.
I really hope when I get to Rebels, right, and they reintroduce Ahsoka in that show, which they do, they just have her say, like, the most abhorrently, like, disgusting things ever.
Like stuff about her pussy and stuff.
Yeah, she just starts, like, talking about how corrupt she's made herself over time. And she
Like how her labia is itchy. and
yeah,
stuff.
she just talks about her bits all the time, dude. It's crazy.
That would be actually pretty funny.
It'd be a Melissa McCarthy production if they were to do that.
Oh fuck.
All right. I think that's near the end of this week's Northwest Trenches podcast.
Dave Blunt's doesn't care he's 500 pounds. Anyhow, continue.
I believe this is the end of Northwest Trenches podcast for this week. We will see you guys next week.
Yeah, good luck out there, everybody. It's gonna get rough here real soon, so keep it real.